Hello darling girls and welcome to the Lean Girl YouTube channel. I'm in a new space today, the gym, because I'm going to be showing you the 5 only exercises you need to do if you are trying to grow your booty, okay? I have had such a crazy transformation from my booty being super flabby to then being pretty saggy and now being pretty fab, if I do say so myself, but only because of the hard work and the exercises that I'm about to show you. When it comes to building a booty, there are a couple of important things. So before I show you the exercises, you will never grow your booty without these couple of things. So if you're sitting there and you've been in a space where you are struggling, you are working hard at the gym, you are trying to eat the right foods, but you're not making any progress, then this video is for you. Before we get into the training, before we get into the exercises, are you ready for the 3 big ones? Number 1, which I learned the hard way, is that you have to eat enough calories. We can never talk about training, we can never talk about the gym unless we talk about nutrition, because that is 80% of the puzzle when it comes to building muscle, losing fat, and getting lean. So if you're permanently in a calorie deficit, the potential of your muscle gains is so much smaller. So I'm not saying you need to go on a crazy bulk and be on a huge surplus, but if you really want to focus on building muscle, unfortunately you can't optimally lose fat and build muscle at the same time. I always say it's like you're trying to save money, but you're also trying to spend money. You know, it's kind of somewhere in between and you're not really optimizing both. So if you want to save that money, putting it into your booty, you have to eat enough calories. So at least be eating at maintenance. If you need to check out a calorie calculator, I've got my own. You can check it out in the description. Okay, number 2, also related to nutrition, you need to be eating enough protein. I will say it a million times, if you're not hitting your protein goal, you are also not going to be optimizing your hard work in the gym. So then it is all going to waste. Easy calculation, 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if I weigh 60 kilograms, my goal is 120 grams of protein. And if you're eating a bit of protein in every single meal, I promise you it gets easier. Include a protein shake as well. I've got other videos which I'll link to here on how to increase your protein level, which I'm sure will help you out. And then number 3, which is getting into the training part, you have to be doing progressive overload training. Now, progressive overload means that you are training and increasing your weights, sets, and reps week on week. Now, it may not be possible every single week because as you get higher in the weights, it's going to become more challenging. But if you have been stuck on the same weight for the last couple of months, this could be a huge reason why you're also not making progress. This is why tracking your sessions is essential. If you are not tracking your weights and actually keeping notes in your phone, like in my programs, I also do a lot of tracking sheets. So it's got the exercise written down, how many sets you did and how many reps you did. This is the only way to know that you are actually improving. If you're writing that shit down, literally just keep it in the notes in your phone. And every time you are doing that exercise, you're going to go back and say, cool, on a squat, last time I did 10 reps for 60 kilos. Let me go up to 62 kilos today, or let me put that up to 15 reps. And if you do this consistently, I promise you, you are going to see magic in the gym. So before we get into the exercises, recapping. Number 1, you have to eat enough. Please try and eat at maintenance and move out of a deficit. Number 2, hit that protein goal. Number 3, you have to be doing progressive overload. And then you have to be doing these 5 exercises. So it is really the simple compound exercises that will make the biggest difference. I always say to my girls, if you are just doing something where your butt feels like it's burning does not equal muscle growth, okay? Although it feels like something's happening, muscle growth happens with heavy weight training and actually progressing over time. So let's hit the gym. I'm gonna show you my 5 most favorite booty building exercises. If you do these every single week, do them consistently, up the weights, you're gonna be writing me thank you letters. That's all I'm saying. Let's go. We are starting off with none other than the queen of booty exercises, the squat. So here are a couple of my notes. First of all, if you can eliminate the barbell pad, it would be best. Trust me, I know it's sore in the beginning, but after 2 or 3 weeks, your shoulders get used to it and you will no longer feel pain, but the bar will be in the correct place. Then you're going to stand with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. You can also play around with the distance here and see which is most comfortable. I then want you to pull the bar into your body, and then you are going to drop it down, drop it like it's hot. And the key here is to break 90-degree depth to get maximum results. So even if you do need to go a little bit lighter, I'd rather have you go lower and break that 90-degree mark. Then, of course, as you're going down, you're always going to be keeping your core tight on the way up and on the way down. And in terms of your pace, you can go pretty slowly down, and then to help you get up, you'll accelerate on the way up with a bit of power. Exercise number 2 is the deadlift, one of my favorites. So you're going to start with the barbell and your feet are going to be around shoulder width apart. If your hands do tend to slip, I'd recommend getting some grips. These really help because our legs tend to be pretty strong and it's the hands that give in. You're then going to reach down and grip the bar slightly wider than your knees. And you are going to hinge at the hips, and very important is to keep the bar as close to your shins as possible as you pull it up. And then when you're stretching down again, I want you to pretend that you are closing a door with your booty. And when the bar is around mid-shin, you are then going to hinge at the hips, pulling forward up into the standing position again. Moving on to the back lunge. So this is fantastic because it's a unilateral exercise, meaning we are giving each leg a turn to work. I like to start with the weaker leg first because when I'm a little more tired, I'd rather use the stronger leg. So that's just a little tip. You're then going to hold one dumbbell in your hand. I prefer this for balance, but totally up to you if you want to use 2 or 1. And then you are going to step your 1 foot back far enough so that you can get that back knee to touch the floor. This is where the magic happens. So if your knee is always hovering up, rather go lighter and get that knee to touch the floor. Then when you are driving up again, you must drive through the glute and keep your knee pushed out. So don't let your knee fall in as you're pushing up. That will make sure that the glute is engaged. And I like to do all of my reps on one leg before switching over. Onto another one of my favorites, the hip thrust. So I know the setup is a bit of a mission, but let me tell you, those gains are going to be worth it. So you want to set up a barbell using large plates because this will help you to be able to roll it over your legs. I also like using a box here, a soft one if you have, instead of the gym benches because they tend to be a tiny bit high. I also then add a pad onto the barbell, which you will have to use, otherwise your hips ain't gonna be loving you. So you definitely need to use a cushion, otherwise you can also roll up a mat. You then want to place your feet where you'll be able to reach 90 degrees when your hips are flexed up. If your feet are too close to your booty or too far away, you're going to be either using your hamstrings or your quads more, and we really want to get this in the glutes. You're then going to drive the bar up as hard as you can until it reaches a max height. So you aren't going to only go halfway. I really want you to try and lock it up at the top. And if you can, pause it for me there for 1 second. Last but not least, we have the cable kickback. So here you'll connect your ankle straps and then you'll connect those straps to the cable machine. You can actually hold on the cable machine here for support as well, which definitely helps. And you can bend over your body slightly and then you want to kick your leg back and up. And when it's right at the top, I want you to really squeeze the glute and activate that mind-muscle connection. You're then going to bring your foot back down to meet the other one, and then you'll repeat for the number of reps. For this one, try to go lighter in the beginning until you really get that connection, and then you can build up once you get stronger and once you really feel that booty working. Right, I hope that you loved those 5 exercises. I hope that you are going to try them out. You're going to include them into your training program. If you need some help figuring out what workouts you should be doing and what the exercises are, not only for the booty, but the legs and the arms and the shoulders and the back, then check out my Lean Girl TNT training program. That is my 40-minute heavy weight training workouts designed to get your body banging in record time. So I'll put the link down there below if you also want some help on that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something new, and I am wishing you many, many booty gains in the weeks to come.